If you are a Dallas Cowboys fan like me, you keep questioning yourself every Sunday, yo, what the hell is wrong with our defense? Then this is a video you must watch. What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck, real Cowboys fan stand up, and I'm going to make this quick, all right? Because this might be a lengthier video, but a lot of you have been asking me, yo, Tuck, we need a film breakdown on what's going on with this Dallas Cowboys defense. And to be honest with you guys, I wasn't going to do it. But last night, I kind of got one of those feelings, and I said, all right, I need to figure out for myself what the hell is going on. And I was up to almost 2 a.m. last night. So you have to do me a favor, y'all. Y'all have to share this content, like this content, let everybody know what's up, because I watch every defensive snap from the Dallas Cowboys season thus far to make this video. But with further ado, let's go ahead and get in the lab. All right, so let's go to last week's game versus the Denver Broncos. And when I was watching the film on the Broncos, like I said, it was bad, y'all, but, you know, it just has to be done. But I also was like, had a lot of questions as I was taking my notes and reached out to a very good friend of mine, Gerald McCoy, All-Pro. You guys know Gerald McCoy, phenomenal athlete, phenomenal NFL player. So it's good to have friends in high places. And we went through the film about 2 hours as well. We did it again this morning, and I noticed some things, and he notices some things as well. So salute to my dog, Gerald McCoy. But the thing that stood out to me on this particular play, okay, it is 2nd and 10. Now, when you look at the personnel, okay, you have 11 personnel. You have 1 running back, 1 tight end, okay? Where is Bo Nix? He is under center. So if you are familiar with a Sean Payton-esque offense, typically when they're under center, it's about to be a run. Typically, when they're in shotgun, they are going to pass. So that comes from film study. So that's all some awareness right there, okay? Now, if you just look, even if you're a casual fan and do not know a lot about football, if you look at this right tackle, okay? All right, this is his drive foot, and this is his catch foot, right? So he's going to catch himself on. But look how he's slanted. You can already see that this right tackle is leaning all of his weight on this left inside leg. So that should give you the indication of which way is he going to go on snap. He is going to go this way. All right, y'all see that? Very simple stuff that we can pick up from the comfort of our own homes. All right. Now, what I want you guys to also watch is Osa Odighizuwa located right here, okay? His alignment. Now, he's kind of in the slanted, right? But he's not really cocked. He's not really loaded when it comes to his stance. But you're getting prepared to stop the run because Osa, you have this B gap, right? And then Shamar, A right here, okay? And then I believe this is Mozzie, A, okay? Murray, you should have B, okay? And then Sam Williams should have the outside contain into the C, right? Very simple stuff. And when it comes to stopping the run, y'all, I know a lot of people think it's about talent, but it comes down to want, desire, and will, all right? Now, let's run the play. Boom. Here we go. Bo Nix is making his checks. Watch this. The ball is barely snapped, all right? The ball is barely snapped. Right there, okay? And once again, which way is this right tackle going? He's going to the left, right? So Osa is already beat as this right tackle is going to simply just cross his face, all right? So you see that there. Boom. Face cross, okay? His face is crossed, but where's Osa's hands? Okay? Osa's hands are wide, so he's not getting any hands on this right tackle, all right? So Mozzie, what gap are you in? You're not in the front A, you're in the back A. So Mozzie's located right here. So you see that the Denver Broncos is running a zone scheme because everybody is going to the left. All right. So by doing that, you're simply seeing, okay, Mozzie gets beat, Osa gets beat, okay? And then Sam Williams you're supposed to be outside C, but he takes an inside C, right? So he's supposed to be out here, right? Covering the outside, but he takes an inside, right? And by doing that, what does that leave wide open? Boom. All right. So now you have this tackle pulling, and you have RJ Harvey hitting the outside. Now, since if you kind of go back, right? If you go back and kind of run this play, like I said, it's going to be kind of a longer film session, so get comfortable, right? By Osa not getting his hands on this right guard, what does it allow this right guard to do? To be able to get upfield and get on my guy Shamar James and put some syrup on him and get a pancake, right? Free to the next level, right? Free uninterrupted to the next level. Shamar James gets pancaked, right? Blocked here. You got Deron Bland kicked out. This is blocked, right? Kenneth Murray blocked. You have Shamar James on the ground, right? And 77 isn't done. He's going to get to the next level and look for some more, right? This play is doomed, right? And my guy RJ Harvey, this is easy money. This is easy money. So what am I getting at in this play, right? Physicality. All offseason we heard toughness, physical. We're going to be dominant in the trenches. This play does not represent that, right? There's no toughness. Where is the push? Where's the physicality? Where's the hands? Everyone's getting reached, getting their face crosses. No one's able to shed blocks. So is it all on Matt Eberflus? No. Some of it's on players and personnel, but it's going to be extremely important, y'all, Cowboys Nation, that we start to get an identity and that someone in the coaching office defensively says that is not acceptable. We need more effort because we just got bullied on that play. And there's 1,000 other plays I could have shown you guys that looks exactly like that. Okay. Now, a lot of people talking about pressure, right? Now, I will say this. Do I think the Dallas Cowboys miss an elite pass rusher like Micah? Yes. Do I think Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, it will happen? But there are teams across the NFL that does not have extreme elite pass rushers, and they're able to get pressure. We just faced one who led the league in sacks. The Denver Broncos really don't have dominant Max Crosby type players and Micah Parsons type players, even though they do have Nick Bonito and some other guys, right? But on this play, all right, here we go. We get our cover one zone, right? So we got cover one man, right? So we're manned up. This is what we all been asking for. All right, play a little man. All right. So boom. As far from a coverage standpoint, we do a good job in man coverage, right? I think only play right here is Deron Bland on this little zig route right here. It kind of gets beat, and this was an open opportunity there. But for the most part, you had good coverage. It's a pass rush game, all right? So what you're going to have is Shamar James, and you also have Kenneth Murray. What they're going to do is crash into this guard, right? Crash, and it's supposed to free up. This is Osa to stunt, and also Kenneth Clark to stunt to get interior pressure on Jayden Daniels. But when you watch these pass rush games from the Dallas Cowboys this year, it is clunky. And I want you guys to focus on the left side when it comes to Osa, all right? Osa, boom, standing up, all right? Do you think that this right guard right here is really concerned about the pass rush stress of Osa Odighizuwa right now? Probably not. He's standing straight up, right? So for Osa, you have to threaten this guy vertical. You have to make him kick back out of his stance. It's a passing play, right? And typically, what do offensive linemen do? They want to kick back, right? Because that's how you protect the quarterback, because the quarterback is right here, right? But if you don't even threaten him to force himself out of his kick, he's comfortable, right? Then you have Shamar James. When you come on this crash, it's a love tap, right? This is a love tap. This right guard ain't threatened by that. It's a love tap, which then allows this running back to sit and wait and say, okay, who's coming my way? All right, now it's Osa Odighizuwa coming my way. All right, so now you have Osa Odighizuwa, our top paid defensive tackle, on a running back Who should win this matchup? If I ask you to bet this matchup, who should win, it should be Osa 10 times out of 10. I think that's Bill, right? Osa should at least blow this running back up, right? But look at his shoulders, okay? Which way is Osa facing? This way. So you're not a threat, right? You should at least blow this guy up. Get vertical, 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 right? The quarterback's right here. Going this way does us zero good, all right? Now, let's look on the opposite side, okay? You have the same play being ran over here with Kenneth Murray and Clark, all right? But Clark isn't threatening this tackle or this guard. He's not kicking out of his stance because there's no threat. If you watch this play, Kenneth Clark is standing up. Oops, go back. Kenneth Clark is standing up at the line of scrimmage right here, standing straight up. So this tackle and this guard is on it, right? And then you also have your most elusive pass rusher in Donovan Ezekaraku dropping passing back in coverage, right? So now you have this guard and this tackle pretty much occupied with Kenny Clark, all right? And then once again, there's no threat. Get vertical, vertical, vertical. And Kenneth Murray, you have to come down and crash this like your hair is on fire. Go, 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 go. But it feels like it's a game of patty cake when you watch Kenneth Murray. You're supposed to just cause havoc, all right? Now it's clunky. There's no pressure. And look at all this time that Jayden Daniels has to go through his progressions. Nothing there, pocket cleanup. So, one, I think it's a thing, y'all, when it comes to our defensive line. I need to see you guys play with your hair on fire, more motor, more physicality, because if you can do that, it will open up opportunities. But as of right now, you're just not seeing that across the board, to be honest with you guys, all right? Now, let's get back to Carolina, all right? So we have the Rico revenge game, okay? Good little shift on the front end, all right? I would like it maybe delayed just slightly, all right? Communication on the motion. But once again, who is getting vertical? Where is the vertical push? Where is the fortitude, right? Where's the fortitude, right? Marshawn Neely, we need vertical pushes. We need vertical. Get vertical. That was the whole conversation piece we talked about when it came to Matt Eberflus in this scheme, right? They were going to get vertical and get upfield. We wanted slender guys to get upfield, right? Where is the vertical? Now, once again on this play, all right, Nealon, you're taking the inside move. Who has the C? Is it going to be Ready here? Okay, so if you're going to fill this C gap and have this outside containment, you need to be coming down, bro. You need to be coming down. But instead, what happens with Reddy Stewart? Reddy Stewart is going backwards, right? He's going backwards in his steps. Backwards, backwards, backwards. All right? So this C gap, there's no outside contain. Now, Trayvon is going to do it, and I think someone posted this online, like, oh, what is Trayvon doing? Trayvon is trying to keep the outside contained, because if Trayvon came here, then all of this pulling tackle or offensive lineman has to do with seal, and it's off to the races, right? So where's the containment? Where's the containment? Any one of us watching this video right now could run through these holes, right? And that was an easy money play when it comes to Rico Dowdle, right? Containment, assignment-based football. Now, here we are, I believe it's 3rd and 8, all right? Even if you're not a football savant, you can pretty much tell me what this coverage is, right? Simply, how? 1, 2, 3, 4, all right? Even if you just don't even understand football, you already understand what this coverage is. It is cover 4. So if I can pick this up from being in Kansas City, imagine what Bryce Young can do when he comes to the line of scrimmage and he sees that it's just cover 4, right? Hey, boom. So it's 3rd and 8, and I want you guys to watch Bryce Young, right? Right? You kind of show, right? You're playing a game here, right? You're playing a game here, but Matt Eberflus, right? I see the game you're playing here. The games need to be played here, right? Have Trayvon, if you still want to play cover 4, you can have him show. He can show press and still drop. He can play off and still drop. But when you give this cushion, this is the problem that we're seeing when it comes to Dallas Cowboys defense, especially on the back end. Watch Trayvon's first step. Okay, now he's moving backwards, right? Which, when you're playing cover 4, what is the primary focus of playing cover 4? You want to keep everything in front, right? Not get beat deep. Okay, I understand that, but it's 3rd and 8, bro. The markers is right here. Now, if Bryce Young drops back and beats us deep, okay, cool, I get it, bro. But hey, let's get up and be aggressive. So if you watch Bryce Young in the pocket, and you guys tell me, watch Bryce Young right here, all right? Boom. Tell me, does Bryce Young even come off of this outside number 1 wide receiver? He is going to stare him down this entire play. Watch him. Watch his helmet. Where is he looking at? Looking at him. 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 And then he lets it go, right? Now, Trayvon does a good job breaking on the ball, but from a coaching standpoint, we know what Trayvon Diggs likes to do. Trayvon Diggs sees you staring down your wide receiver. His instincts is to jump that shit, right? But so many people's been on him about being deep and trying to be a ball hawk. He's just trying to do what coach is coaching him to do. And you're giving up easy pickings that any of us could make this play. He's staring down that read, right? So Trayvon's doing his assignment, but you're taking away the traits that makes Trayvon do what he does best, all right? Last thing when it comes to getting pressure, how can the Cowboys fix their pressure? All right. This guy in Donovan Ezekaraku, he's starting to emerge. All right. You have to use him in a Micah Parsons-esque way and line him up versus favorable matchups. Do not just have him lined up on the defensive end side, right? Put him A gap, B gap, let him pass rushes versus centers, guards. You can cherry pick mismatches when it comes to Donovan Ezekaraku. I need to see that a whole lot more, and you're able to see that. And this is the very first game of the season. Donovan is getting pressured now, right? He's starting to figure out, but you look at the pass rush moves. Bink, right? Get his hands off. That's technique. That's technique right there when it comes to Donovan Ezekaraku, right? So he has the toolbox. You have to unleash it. You have to unleash it, Matt Eberflus, and give him favorable opportunities to go out there and get pressure, right? So there's certain things that you can do from the standpoint of, all right, you know what I'm saying? You got to get creative. You got to get creative and dial up pressure in a multitude different ways. Let Donovan Ezekaraku go out there and hunt. And on this last play right here, right, you'll see this play. And this is all week 1, right? You need to see this more. You need to see this more. We saw it week 1, all right? You have Trayvon out here, and we know Trayvon's a coverage guy, but ultimately, where's Matt Eberflus going to draw up? Corner blitz, right? Corner blitz. Now, of course, Hurts is able to come off of it. Okay, that's what Hurts does, but look at this, right? Because you have a 5-man protect. You have the tight end. He's going to go on a route. Saquon Barkley is going to flare out and swing out, all right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So they think that they have the numbers game. And you watch Jalen Hurts, he's only going to be looking front side. Now here comes the backside pressure in Trayvon Diggs, right? Do this with Reddy Stewart. You know, you might have to do it with Kai or Elam, but you got to get creative. Now, a lot of people might say, oh, pressures don't matter. Well, just by doing this, what did it force? It forced Jalen Hurts' clock to speed up and just throw that shit out of bounds. So pressures 1,000% matter. So when it comes to Matt Eberflus, you have to dial it up in a multitude of different ways. So what's the answers, Cowboys Nation? 1, we got to play physical. We got to play a whole lot tougher when it comes to our physicality. We have to play assignment-based football, okay? We have to stop giving cushions, especially on 3rd down and optimal downs, and mix it up on your back end, because your back end, if you're able to disrupt, can cause pressure on the front end. And also, you have to put these guys in winning situations. I think it's a mixture. If I had to place the blame, I would play probably 60-40, 60 coaching, 40 personnel and players, but it is fixable. But will the Dallas Cowboys defense fix it? I do not know, but all we can do is hope for the best, man. But it doesn't matter if it's Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, TJ Watt. If we're being coached improperly, it's just going to be a long day at the offense for your defense, man. So I know it's a long video, but I had to get this out. I ain't even slept yet, really. You know what I'm saying? I had to get this out, and I really wanted you guys to see this for yourselves because a lot of you have been asking me about it, man. So it's your boy, J Tuck. Comment, like, subscribe. If you love film breakdowns, you love Cowboys content, you love draft content, you're just a football fan, you're in the right spot. So turn on that notification bell so you do not miss out. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged. And Dallas Cowboys defense, we are going to need y'all Monday, and it must get better ASAP. Peace. This video is brought to you by Sleeper, the #1 daily fantasy sports app. And right now, Sleeper is doing something crazy, unimaginable. Yes, Sleeper right now is giving you a free $20. Yep, free. All you have to do is be a new subscriber and download Sleeper, and Sleeper will give you $20 in your account to play your daily fantasy pick. So if you want to pick Dak Prescott to go over his passing yards because he's playing at an MVP level, just use Sleeper. And also, if you want to make a deposit, use the code CFO. Sleeper will match 100% up to $100. So download Sleeper, get your free $20 to play daily fantasy sports, and also use the code CFO to get 100% up to $100 on your match. And let's go get this money, gang.